The phone screen burned my eyes in the dark, its blue glow carving out the shape of her lie. It was 2:17 a.m., and the notification from her airline app stared back at me. Flight confirmation. Las Vegas, Nevada. Departure. Friday 7:05 p.m. My thumb hovered, trembling, over the details. She told me she was visiting her sister in Chicago this weekend. The word Vegas pulsed in my chest like a second heartbeat. Each beat louder, angrier, until it drowned out the soft rhythm of her breathing beside me. I turned to look at her, Lila, my fiancée, curled under the comforter, her face soft and unguarded in sleep. How could someone so familiar feel like a stranger? I didn't confront her then. I couldn't. My mind churned, replaying her words from dinner. Clara's been struggling since the divorce. She needs me. Her voice had been so steady, her hazel eyes locked on mine, warm with that quiet sincerity I'd fallen for 3 years ago. But now, the memory twisted, sharp as a blade. Had her lips twitched at the corner? Had her fingers lingered too long on her wineglass, betraying some hidden nervousness? I lay there, the weight of her lie pressing against my ribs, and wondered how many other truths she'd buried beneath that perfect smile. Morning came too fast. The kitchen smelled of burnt toast and fresh coffee, a normalcy that felt obscene. Lila stood at the counter, her dark hair spilling over one shoulder as she scrolled through her phone. "You're up early," she said, not looking up. Her voice was light, but I caught the slight edge in it, like she was testing the air between us. "Couldn't sleep," I said, my tone flat. I watched her closely, searching for cracks, some flicker of guilt, some telltale glance. Nothing. She poured coffee into my favorite mug, the one with the chipped handle, and slid it across the counter. Her fingers brushed mine and I flinched. She didn't notice. "Clara's picking me up from O'Hare tomorrow night," she said, stirring sugar into her own cup. "I'll probably crash at her place and head back Sunday. You okay holding down the fort?" I nodded, my throat tight. "Yeah. Say hi to Clara for me." The words tasted like ash. I wanted to scream, to shake her, to demand why she'd lied about Vegas. Instead, I sipped my coffee and let the bitterness scald my tongue. I needed proof. I needed to be sure. That afternoon, while Lila was at yoga, I became someone I didn't recognize. I opened her laptop, her password, our anniversary 0419, unlocking it with a pang of guilt. Her email was a maze of work threads and spam. But there, buried in a folder labeled receipts, was the smoking gun. A booking confirmation for a suite at the Bellagio. 2 nights, 1 guest. My stomach lurched. I clicked further, my heart hammering, and found an email from someone named Evan. "Can't wait to see you, babe. Vegas is gonna be wild." The word babe hit like a punch. I read it again, then again, each time hoping I'd misread. I hadn't. Evan. I didn't know an Evan. She'd never mentioned an Evan. My mind raced, conjuring a faceless man, tall, charming, everything I wasn't. I pictured them laughing together, her hand on his arm, her eyes bright with a spark I hadn't seen in months. The room spun. I slammed the laptop shut, my breath ragged, and sat there, staring at the wall. The clock ticked too loudly, each second a reminder of how little I knew the woman I was supposed to marry. I could have confronted her when she got home, her cheeks flushed from yoga, her smile easy and unsuspecting. But something stopped me, fear, maybe, or the desperate hope that I was wrong. Instead, I played along, nodding as she talked about Clara's new apartment, her voice bubbling with details that now felt like a performance. Every word she spoke built a wall between us, brick by brick, until I could barely see her through the haze of my own doubt. That night, I couldn't sleep again. I lay beside her, listening to the soft hum of her breathing, and made a decision. If she was going to lie, I'd unravel it my way. I opened her airline app on my phone, using her saved login. My finger hesitated over the cancel flight button. It felt like crossing a line, like becoming the kind of person who snoops and schemes. But betrayal changes you. I pressed it. A confirmation email pinged. Flight canceled. Refund processed. I forwarded it to her, my hands shaking, and added a single line. "Why Vegas, Lila?" The next morning, she was in the kitchen again, but the air was different, thicker, charged. Her phone sat face up on the counter, the refund email open. She didn't look at me as I walked in. You canceled my flight, she said, her voice low, almost a whisper. It wasn't a question. I leaned against the doorway. My arms crossed to hide the tremor in my hands. You lied to me. You're not going to Chicago. You're going to Vegas. With Evan. Her name on my tongue felt foreign now, like it belonged to someone else. Her eyes snapped to mine, wide and startled, but only for a second. Then they narrowed, her lips pressing into a thin line. You went through my phone, she said, her voice sharp now, accusing. That's low, Mark. Lower than lying about where you're going? I shot back. Lower than sneaking off with some guy I've never heard of. My voice cracked and I hated it. I hated how much it hurt, how much I still wanted her to deny it, to explain it away. She set her coffee down, the mug clinking hard against the counter. It's not what you think, she said, but her voice wavered and I saw it, the guilt flickering in her eyes like a shadow. Evan's just a friend. We were just going to hang out, catch a show. It's not a big deal. Then why lie? I stepped closer, my heart pounding so loud I thought she'd hear it. Why hide it? Why Vegas, Lila? Why not tell me? She looked away, her jaw tight, and in that silence, I felt the truth settle between us like dust. I didn't want you to worry, she said finally, but it was weak, a half-hearted lie that crumbled under its own weight. You've been so stressed with work, and I needed a break. A break. I laughed, bitter and hollow. From me? From us. I gestured to the apartment. Our apartment, filled with photos of us laughing, hiking, kissing under Christmas lights. What's his last name, Lila? This Evan guy. Tell me. She flinched, her hands twisting together. It's not like that, she whispered, but her voice was small, fragile. She wasn't fighting anymore. She was retreating. I wanted to scream, to demand every detail, but the words caught in my throat. Instead, I grabbed my keys and walked out, the door slamming behind me. The street outside was too bright, too normal. Dog walkers, joggers, the hum of traffic. I wandered for hours, my mind a tangle of rage and heartbreak. I kept seeing her face, the way it softened when she lied, the way it hardened when I called her out. I kept hearing her voice, saying Evan like it was nothing, like it didn't shatter everything. When I came back, the apartment was dark. Her suitcase was gone. A note sat on the counter, her handwriting neat and deliberate. I'm sorry, Mark. I need time to figure things out. Please don't hate me. I crumpled it in my fist, my chest tight with a grief I couldn't name. I checked her airline app again, half expecting another lie, but there was nothing. No new flights, no new plans. Just the refund receipt, glaring at me from her email. Days passed, then weeks. She didn't call. I didn't either. Friends asked questions, their voices soft with pity, but I brushed them off. I threw myself into work, into routine, into anything that drowned out the quiet. But every night, the apartment felt emptier, the silence louder. I kept her mug on the counter, the one with the chipped handle, like some pathetic shrine to what we'd been. Then one night, my phone lit up. A text from her, the first in a month. Can we talk? I'm back in town. My heart lurched, torn between hope and dread. I typed a reply, deleted it, typed another. I wanted answers, but I feared them too. What could she say that would fix this? That Evan was nobody. That she hadn't slept with him, hadn't laughed with him, hadn't chosen him over me in some glittering Vegas suite? I agreed to meet her at a cafe downtown. She looked different, thinner, her eyes shadowed with something I couldn't read. We sat across from each other, the table a chasm. I didn't cheat, she said, her voice steady but soft. Evan's a friend from college. He's getting married. It was his bachelor party. I lied because I knew you'd overthink it, and I wanted to feel free for one weekend. I stared at her, searching for the lie, but her eyes held mine unflinching. Then why not tell me now? I asked, my voice rough. Why let me think the worst? She looked down, her fingers tracing the rim of her cup. Because I was scared, she admitted. Scared of how much I liked the idea of getting away. From you. From us. I've been feeling trapped. The word hit like a slap. Trapped. I thought of our life, our plans, our wedding, our future, and realized I'd never asked if she wanted it as much as I did. I'd assumed. And in that moment, I saw her clearly. Not a villain, not a victim, just a woman wrestling with her own doubts, her own needs, her own mistakes. I didn't forgive her that day. I didn't take her back. But I didn't hate her either. I walked away, the refund receipt still saved in my phone. A reminder of the moment trust cracked. Sometimes I think about texting her, asking if she's found what she was looking for. But I don't. Because the truth is, I'm still figuring out what I've lost, and what I never really had.